Your tongue is your greatest enemy. Every time you feel the need to fill an uncomfortable silence, you are losing power. The world does not respect people who talk too much. It fears those who stay quiet. When you speak, you reveal your weaknesses, your insecurities, and your plans. You think you are being engaging. In reality, you are becoming predictable. Powerful people don't talk to impress. They stay silent to observe. Today, we decrypt law number 4 of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. Always say less than necessary. This is a 10-minute masterclass on the psychological dominance of silence. We will expose how history's most dangerous figures used short sentences to terrify their rivals, and how a single pause can force an enemy to destroy themselves. If you cannot control your mouth, you cannot control your life. Let's begin.
Words are like currency. The more you issue, the cheaper they become. When you try to impress people with words, the harder you try, the more common you appear. Even if you are saying something wise, talking too much makes you look weak. It shows a lack of self-control. But when you say less than necessary, something shifts. You create a vacuum. Human beings are naturally uncomfortable with silence. They desperately want to fill the void. When you control your tongue and leave a painful pause, the other person will start talking.
They will talk to hide their nervousness. They will blabber, drop their guard, and reveal their true motives. In any negotiation, the person who speaks first loses. The person who speaks less commands the room. Silence is not just a lack of words. It is a psychological weapon of dominance. Let us look at the tragic history of ancient Rome. Gnaeus Marcius, also known as Coriolanus, was a brilliant military hero. He won countless battles for Rome and was a man of immense physical strength. But he had a fatal flaw. He could not control his mouth. When he ran for the high political office of consul, he had to speak to the public. Instead of staying calm and saying less, Coriolanus delivered long, arrogant speeches. He insulted the common citizens and bragged about his military victories. The words he spoke did not impress the crowd. They made him look like a tyrant. The people grew terrified of his arrogance. His long speeches gave his political enemies the exact ammunition they needed to destroy him. They triggered a massive riot against him. Coriolanus was convicted of treason, banned from Rome, and sent into permanent exile. He died in disgrace, completely ruined. He was a giant on the battlefield, but he was a child in the arena of speech. He didn't lose his power to a superior army. He lost it because he said too much.
Now, look at the absolute master of this law, King Louis XIV of France. He ruled his court with an iron fist, but he rarely spoke. When his ministers brought him bad news or asked for dangerous political favors, they would talk for hours. They would sweat, stutter, and expose all their hidden fears while trying to read the king's face. Louis would sit in total silence, staring directly into their eyes. His expression never changed. And when they finally finished speaking, the king would say only 4 words: "I shall see." Then he would turn around and walk away. He never argued.
He never explained. He never gave an answer on the spot. This short, brutal sentence left his ministers terrified. No one knew what the king was thinking. No one knew who was about to be ruined. Because they couldn't read his intentions, everyone was desperate to please him. They spent their days obeying his every hidden wish, just to avoid his silent wrath. Louis did not build his massive power by executing thousands of people. He built it by refusing to speak. He knew that a quiet king is a terrifying king. The classrooms and boardrooms of America are no different from the court of Louis XIV. The rules of dominance have never changed. If you want to control your environment today, you must follow two strict rules. First, master the pregnant pause. When someone asks you a question, do not jump to answer. Wait 3 seconds. Stare into their eyes. Then deliver a short, cold response. Your silence will make them feel small and deeply insecure. Second, never explain yourself. When you make a mistake or when you win, say nothing.
Let people guess your motives. Let them obsess over your next move. The less they know, the more power you have over them. Silence is your armor. Words are your vulnerability. You now know how to dominate a room with fewer words. But how do you protect your most valuable asset? Your reputation. In the next video, we are unpacking law number 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. We will show you how to build an untouchable name and how to destroy your enemies by attacking theirs. Subscribe now, or remain a pawn in someone else's game.